The book of 1 Samuel is a very interesting book because it's a book of transition. It starts out at the time of the judges. This is when Israel was governed by local individuals who served as judges for the people and helped to deliver them from oppression. But it went from the time of the judges to the monarchy. And what we're studying now as we get to 1 Samuel chapter 10 is how the people of Israel insisted on a king. And so God allowed them to have a king. And we are going to see that this king, his name is Saul, is introduced in 1 Samuel chapter 10 in the first 20 some verses. Well, here's what I want to focus on today: ingratitude. You know what leads us to a lot of really bad decisions in life is when we forget to be thankful for what God has done in the past and what God is doing in our present. So here's what happened in the nation of Israel. Now, this is in 1 Samuel chapter 10, starting with verse 17. Now Samuel called the people together to the Lord at Mizpah. And he said to the people of Israel, "Thus says the Lord God of Israel, I brought you out of Egypt, and I delivered you from the hand of the Egyptians and from the hand of the kingdoms that were oppressing you. But today you have rejected your God, who saves you from all your calamities and your distresses. And you have said to him, set a king over us. Now therefore, present yourselves before the Lord by your tribes and by your thousands." And so Samuel is getting ready to introduce the new king. This is what the people wanted. Of course, most of us know, if you studied the kings of Israel, it's not a very good time period. In fact, the vast majority, every king of the northern kingdom was evil. And only a limited number of those kings over the southern kingdom were good kings. Saul was not a good king. He was a man who started out well, but he got his eyes off the Lord, and we're going to see in the days ahead where it led. But today, let me just emphasize for you how important it is to have a good memory, to know what God has done for us, and to be very careful of the temptation to reject the Lord and to put in control of our lives, our own thoughts, our own ideas, our own wills. Ingratitude is an underlying sin that leads us to so many other things away from the will of God. And today, we need to consciously take time to remember what God is doing in our lives. Remember how He's blessed us, what He saved us from, what He saved us to, and live a life of gratitude. When we do, we will keep our eyes focused on the Lord, and this keeps us from making some really bad choices.